Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, this is Alan King with LifeTime Asset Management, and I want to welcome you to our Lifetime Learning Series webinar for this afternoon. We're going to delve into some of our online resources for you, specifically Investor 360, which gives you access to account information, account statements, tax documents, etc., and Sharefile, which we use to share files securely between us and you. So I just wanted to welcome everybody. I trust that everybody's getting their Super Bowl preparations in order, but I also want to make sure everybody's ready for Saturday's National Eat Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. So hope you're getting ready for that. Wanted to just let you know that we are recording this session, but we are not taking live questions during this session. So you can always reach out to me directly, or you can reach us at info@lifetimeasset.com if you have any questions. So my wife Susan and I joined Lifetime as clients many years ago, and then I was fortunate to be able to join the team back end of 2015. And I've really enjoyed getting to know all of you out there that are clients, and those of you that I haven't met yet, look forward to working with you in the future. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. We got a couple of things to talk about today. Let me switch. There we go. We're going to talk about Investor 360 and Sharefile. And again, Investor 360 is your online portal to access your account information. And Sharefile is how we can share files with each other. So what we're going to do is we'll do a little demo of Investor 360. So the first thing to do is to log into the site, and you can get there from the lifetimeasset.com website. So if you just go to lifetimeasset.com and go to the main page, over here on the right side is the client portal link. So if you just click on that, that'll take you to our client portal page. Scroll down just a bit and you can see some of the online resources that we have for you. For our tax clients, there's a link there. Here's Investor 360, which we'll show you a demo of. Later on, we'll do another webinar on the wealth management and e-money site. And this Sensibles is a nice resource for teaching your kids and young adults about personal finance. So we really like that as well. But today we're going to talk about Investor 360. So to get to the site, just click here and it'll bring up the Investor 360 login site. And just a word of caution that you should be using anytime you're accessing any financial information is be sure that you're on a secure network, such as your Wi-Fi network at home or place of business. We wouldn't want you to log into these sites if you're in, say, a public library, airport, or any of those kinds of sites. It's just best practice to just avoid logging into personal finance sites on a public Wi-Fi network, because you never know who's out there watching. So all you need to do is provide your login ID and password. If you don't have a login ID, then we can always get one for you. Just reach out to the office and we'll get you set up and we'll send you a temporary password. Once you do that, you can set up your password and security questions in case you forget your password. But if you ever forget your login ID or password, just let us know and we'll be glad to help you get into your account. So what we have today is we have a demo login ID that we're going to use. So it's not any personal information for any of our clients. This is just a demo data to show you some information on the website. So once you get logged in, you start out on this portfolio page, which gives you an overview of your accounts and a lot of just really useful information just on this first page. So for example, up here in the top left section, it shows the account summary, and by default, it's year-to-date information, and we'll show you the beginning account balance as of January 1st, any additions or withdrawals that you've made from the accounts, and the net portfolio change and the current balance as of whatever date you specify. By default, it's always going to show you the year-to-date information, but up here on the right, you can pick a different date. For example, if you want to pick, last month, and then it'll show you January to the end of January. Or you can pick a custom date, whatever you like. But by default, it's going to show you year-to-date information on this section. Down below, it's going to show you the balances in your accounts. This particular demo has 3 accounts in their retirement portfolio, an IRA, and a Roth IRA, another IRA here, and it just kind of gives you a real quick snapshot of the value of those individual accounts. If you want a little bit more specific information on an account, you can just kind of hover over it and either view activity in that account or view the portfolio holdings. And we'll look at that again here in just a couple of minutes. You can also set up different groups of accounts. By default, there will be your accounts will be grouped by retirement accounts and non-retirement or trust accounts. But if you have a specific group of accounts that you want to see, my account, my wife's accounts, something like that, we can always set up a specific group for you. So for example, if I just wanted to see some information on John's IRA here, I would just select that, automatically updates the screen and just shows his accounts and the activity in his accounts. So let's go back to all accounts. Over on the right, it shows you a breakdown of the holdings within the account. For example, this particular portfolio has 38% in US stocks, 13.8% in international stocks, and just a quick little bar or circle graph that shows the breakdown. If you want to go into a little bit more detail, just click on the asset category over here and it'll show you large cap growth, large cap value, and so forth. Gives you a nice little breakdown of all the accounts. So that's kind of the information on the overview page. There's a little account history down here on the bottom right that you can look at, which shows you a little graph. It's kind of fun to look at to see how the accounts have performed over time. If you want to dig into the accounts in a little bit more detail, you can click on this Holdings tab here. And it'll break down the actual investments or mutual funds, stocks, or whatever that are in each of the accounts. So you can see this Roth IRA has several different mutual funds, shows you the ticker symbol, how many shares, price as of the whatever time frame you select. Typically it's the most recent closing price and the value of those particular shares. And you can pick different views and all kinds of useful things here. So it's fun to just kind of get in here and play around and see what's in your accounts. And just like before, you can select any specific account or group of accounts. And it's also useful if you want to take all of this information and put it into a spreadsheet. There's this little export link over here. And if you click that, it will allow you to save the information in a format that you can view with Excel. The other tab here that's useful is the Activity tab, and that just shows you any account activity that you have either in a group of accounts or in whatever specific account you've been looking at. And again, it's got the same date range kind of thing here. So it'll show you any buy or sell activities, dividends, withdrawals, additions, any of those kinds of things. All this information can be a little bit overwhelming. So if, for example, you wanted to just see what withdrawals have been made from the account over this date range, you can use this activity filter over here. So if you just click on that, you can select, for example, just additions and withdrawals to the account. Now, this particular feature doesn't work in the demo, but it'll work on your screen whenever you log into your account. So feel free to play around with that. or you can look up, activity based on any particular stock or fund that you own. It's kind of a useful way to just filter and narrow down what you're looking for. And like with the holdings information, you can also export this information, the activity, to an Excel spreadsheet. And for any of you folks out there that use Quicken, there is a way that you can link your accounts through Quicken into Investor 360 and automatically download transactions into your Quicken software if you're tracking individual activity that way. It's a pretty handy feature. I use that quite a lot. Speaking of connections to other accounts and other systems out there, while we're talking about that, the Investor 360 also allows you to import your tax information into TurboTax, Tax Act, or the H&R Block tax preparation software. So if you use those rather than having to type in all that information, you can just link to your accounts through the Investor 360 system. If you want some more information on how to do that, we've got some flyers that we can send to you that go over that in pretty good detail. It seems to be a useful thing for a lot of folks. So let us know if you're interested in that. All right, so the last tab on the portfolio is the account profile. So let's go there. And let's look at a profile for one of these demo accounts. Now this gives you a lot of useful information about the account, who the owners are, social security numbers masked, when it was opened, a lot of just really useful information. Feel free to take a look at the information in there and just verify its accuracy. If you see anything that needs changed, please let us know and we'll be able to help you with that. One thing that's really useful on this screen down here on the bottom right is the beneficiary information. So you can see who your beneficiaries are on that particular account. We would always encourage you, and as part of our review process with everyone, is we review the beneficiaries on a pretty regular basis, but it's a good idea for you to just check them and make sure that they're set the way that you like. If you want to make any changes to those, of course, just let us know and we'll help you through that. Okay, so that's the portfolio section. Just a real quick overview. It'll make a lot more sense and it'll be a little bit easier, I think, when you're looking at your own accounts, so you know exactly what you're looking at. But if you have any questions along the way, just let us know. We'll be glad to help. The next big tab here is one that's very useful as well, and that's statements and documents. So let's go there. So this is where you would go to find your monthly account statements, tax documents, any transaction confirmations, any particular correspondence that you might get from national financial services, such as privacy letters and things like that they send out. You can access online versions of those through this page here. It's very useful. I know a lot of people use this, especially now that it's tax time, to go download your tax documents. So we'll look at that here in a second. So we can just step through each of these sections. Up at the top, this consolidated statement, if you run that as of whatever date range that you select, previous month end, yesterday, the end of last year, whatever you select, click go, and that will pull up a consolidated statement of all of your accounts. And it's just kind of a real nice little snapshot of the accounts, and it'll show you how what the current values are, the asset allocation breakdown, and it's basically the same thing that we review with you during your client review meetings. So it's a nice way to just kind of pull a quick version of that if you're interested. The next section here, the brokerage statements, these are your monthly account statements. So if you're set up for paperless delivery and you get an email at the beginning of the month that says, hey, your account statement from last month is available online, this is where you would go to find it. So you'll have a row for each of your accounts, And if you have any closed accounts, you'll be able to access the statements from those accounts as well. But it'll show you the last 5 or 6 months of statements that you can access very easily by just clicking on the link. If we click on one of those, opens up a new window and pulls in the account statement. And again, obviously, this is just sample data. But once it's here, then you can use just whatever browser application you use to view PDF files and save it, print it, whatever you need. If you need something older than, say, the last 6 months, if you go over here to the right under More, it'll bring up a little window, and you can scroll down and pick a particular month. So if you wanted the year-end 2012 statement, you can just click on that and it'll pull that up for you. So we go back many years for accounts that have been open for a while. So a lot of people just use this rather than keeping paper copies of statements. So it's just a real handy way to get your account statements. And if you want to, you can, if you're getting mail copies of the statements, you can turn on Paperless Delivery and stop getting the mail and just view them online or save them to your home computer, whatever you like. The next big section, obviously this time of year is important, is the tax reporting section. So for each of your accounts, you can click on this most recent tab here or any recent specific tax form and download that. If you click on the most recent tab, again, this is a little bit hidden with this demo, so I got a couple of screen captures. Let me go over here. And what you might see, especially now where we're still a little bit early in the tax season, for the tax year 2020, it may say that 0 tax documents are found. Well, that's probably just because the account tax form has not been released yet. Some of the brokerage accounts typically are released mid-February, so as soon as the account tax document is available, instead of saying no documents found, it would show you something like this, where you can view or download the PDF version of, in this example, the consolidated 1099 tax form, shows when it was posted, and again, gives you a link to download it. Also, if it's a form that's been corrected, it'll have an indication here that it is the corrected version if they have to make some updates after the first one is released. So it's just a real convenient way for you to view and download tax documents. And if you want something from a previous year, just select the pull down menu here and pick a different date. One thing I will want to mention, let me just go to this next page here. The tax documents are listed in by row, not by column with years. So for example, you see this first column here and you say, okay, here's all of my 2018 forms. But notice this particular account had a second 5498 that was released for the 2018 tax year. So if you're looking for tax documents, just realize that there may be more than one tax document for a specific year, and these columns, or this information is sorted by row, not by column. So just be careful that you pick up all of your tax documents so you get everything you need when you're filing your taxes. All right, back to the Investor 360 page. Those are the two most common things that you'll want to access on the Statements and Documents tab. But you can also access down here customer correspondence. Again, those are things like privacy letters and anything that National Financial Services might need to send out as your account custodian. And then finally down here are trade confirmations. And by default, I think it only shows you recent ones, but you can pick a different date range and see anything that you want. And just like the account statements, you click on that and it'll give you a PDF version of that particular transaction statement. Now, what a lot of people have said is, it's great that you are keeping us informed and sending us monthly statements and transaction confirmations, but I don't need all that paper. Let's set those up for paperless delivery. And it's real easy to do. Just when you get logged in, go up here to this settings link. If you click on that, it'll give you some information that you can change. Obviously, it won't let you change your name here, but if you do have a name change, let us know. We'll be glad to help you with that. If you want to change your email address, you can change that here. It'll force you to type it in a couple times just to make sure that it's correct. And like any other password system, allows you to change your password. You'll need to know your current password and type in your new password. If you hover over the little question mark here, it'll just confirm the rules for creating your password. We have had a couple of people ask about two-factor authentication. It doesn't have it right now, but it is coming, so stay tuned for that. If you want to change your security questions that you use to help reset your password, you can do that here. And then this final section down here is the paperless preferences section. And they've done a really nice job, I think, with how they set this up, because you can have different settings on each of your different accounts. So for example, if you want some paper for your retirement accounts but not for your brokerage accounts, then we can certainly do that. You can set this up however you like. And also you can select which documents you want by paper and which ones you want electronically, just by clicking the checkbox here. So for example, I want to get just an email for my monthly account statements, shareholder reports. Those are all those prospectuses and annual reports that you get. If you select this box, you'll just get an email when those are released rather than something in your mail. Confirmation, those are the trade confirmation. Customer correspondence, again, is those things like privacy letters and anything that's going on with any particular stock that you have. And then the last one is tax documents. What a lot of people will do is say, turn off everything paper, but I do want a paper copy of my tax documents. So this is how you would do that. Pretty easy to do. Just check the boxes of the things you want or don't want, scroll down to the bottom and click save. So it's just that easy. If you want things to go to a different email, you can change it there. And again, this is real easy to do. Just a couple of things to point out though for paperless delivery. For security reasons, we cannot change your paperless delivery settings for you. We can certainly walk you through it and show you how to do it, but that's something that you'll need to do on your own. So if you ever want to make any changes, this is how you would do it. And if you forget, just call the office and we'll walk you through it. The other thing to keep in mind is you can only change the paperless settings for an account that you own or are a joint owner of. So it won't let you change, for example, your spouse's accounts for which they are the sole owner. If they want to do paperless delivery, then just let the office know. We'll create an account for them and they can get in and set up their paperless delivery the way that they want to. Again, it's pretty easy to do. If you have any questions, though, call the office and we'll be glad to help. So cancel out of here. All right, so that's the statements and documents section. The documents tab, we haven't been using this a whole lot lately because we've got other mechanisms for sharing files. But this is another way that we can make documents available to you online. We've got some other methods now, I think, that are a little more convenient, but if you want to use this, let us know and we'll go into a little bit more detail with you specifically. The last thing here on Investor 360 is messages. And let's click on that. And this is just a way that you can send us a very quick, secure message. So this is outside of your normal email. If you compose a message here, let's click on that, type in your subject here, and then just type in some text. You can attach files, anything like that. That sends a secure message to your advisor. and then we'll respond accordingly based on that. So it is a convenient way. If you're in 360 and have a quick question, you can just shoot us a message or send us a file, and that works. But again, we've got some other ways that we can share information securely as well. If you're interested in any particular stock, just click on the symbol there. Let's see how Apple's doing today. Click that, and it'll bring up just a real quick price quote on Apple stock, and you can see a chart of recent history. Just a real convenient way that you can get a stock quote if you want. For this demo section up here at the very top, it just says Commonwealth Training and the Commonwealth website and phone number. When you log in, it'll have lifetime asset information up here. So you can always just click on that to get to our website, or our phone number is just real handy there. So I hope that was a useful little tour of Investor 360. It's a handy website. They're always working on improvements to it. So I've heard some good things that are coming here in the relatively near future. Some things to make it better, easier. So stay tuned for those. So appreciate your time looking at that. So let's go ahead and log out. It's always a good idea to log out when you're done. Takes you back to the login page. Then you can close your browser window and get back to the Lifetime Asset website. So the next thing that I want to talk about is our tools for sharing files and information securely. So if you have a document, for example, a Social Security statement or an account document that you want to send to us, we would recommend that you don't use your regular email for that, just because you never know who's out there lurking, watching Gmail, Yahoo Mail, any of those. For the most part, they're secure, but you can never be too careful. So we would suggest, if you have a file to send to us, go to our website and then click on this link up here to send us files. And that'll take you to the Send Us Files Securely site. Just scroll down a little bit, and then if you want to send the document to our tax team, you can click this link over here on the left, or if you're sending a file to your investment wealth management team, click on the link here on the right. So click on that, and it goes out to Sharefile application, asks for your email, name, and information. So what I'm going to do, rather than doing this online here, I'm just going to run back to the presentation and run through a few things. So this is the same screen that we looked at before. So if you have a file to send to us, simply type in your name, email address, and then click on the Continue button. And that'll bring up this little dialog box. Just real simple. From your File Explorer on your Windows machine, Finder on your Mac, you can just drag and drop files into this box here, or you can click the Browse Files button and go find your files and select them. And once you've added them into the box here, it'll look something like this. It'll show you the name of the file and have a little box here. If you say, oh no, that's not one that I want, you can click the little X to delete that one. You can click the Add More button over here to add more files. But once you have your list of files done, then simply click on the Upload button, and it'll send each of the files in your list to us. And what you want to look for is, beside each file name, when it's done, you'll see this green Uploaded button. If something happens during the upload, computer network issues or whatever, instead of showing green uploaded, it'll be a red failed or try again or some message like that. So just be on the lookout for that. We also have it set up so we'll send you a confirmation email to say, hey, we got your message or we got your file. So be on the lookout for that, just to confirm that we got your file. And then once the file is sent in, we get alerts to say, hey, Joe sent us a file, and we'll go look at it and follow up with you accordingly based on what's in the file. So really pretty straightforward if you want to send files to us. Now, we can also send files to you securely, kind kind of using a similar mechanism. So if it's a document that doesn't have a lot of sensitive information, but it's more than just general PDF about some topic or whatever, if it has some information that might be of a sensitive nature, we will send it to you as a Sharefile attachment to your regular email. And when you do that, you'll get, as part of just your regular email, a little box inside your email that looks like this, that says, hey, you've got an attachment that Alan has sent to you, and all you have to do is click on the download attachments button there. And what that'll do is that'll open up the file in your web browser. So we're not sending you the actual file through your email, we're just sending you a link, and then you'll be able to download that file through this other browser window that pops up. It'll actually show you as well the contents of the document. This is just our little test document, but it gives you a link that you can download it here, or you can print, or there's some other options here with the ellipsis if you want to click on that. Real simple, real straightforward. I know many of you have used this already. We think it's a nice, simple way that we can send you a document without including it or making it visible to your email servers. Now, there are cases where we need to send you something, whether it's a document or something in the text of an email that is really of a sensitive nature. For example, it might include an account number or a social security number, or just some private financial information that we wouldn't even want to include in the body of an email. We can also do that through this same Sharefile system. And we do that by sending you an encrypted email. So rather than getting an email that has kind of normal text in it, we would send you an email that would look something like this. You'll get the email, you'll open it up and say, hey, Alan has sent you an encrypted message. So there's nothing in your email that gives any information about what's the contents of the message other than the subject. So it'll just show you the subject, who it came from, and when that particular message expires. So after July 23rd, if you try to open that message, it won't open. So if you want to see that message, you just click on this View Encrypted Message button here. And what it'll do is it'll ask you for your Sharefile password. You'll provide your email address and the password. If it's the first time that we've sent you an encrypted message, you'll actually get two emails. One email will be this encrypted message. The other one will be something that looks like this, that says, Alan has sent you some files, but you need to activate your Sharefile account to view that message. Now, all you have to do is click on this Activate Your User Account message link in that email and create a password that you'll use for Sharefile. And then once you have that information, you can go back to the original encrypted message, click on View Encrypted Messages, and then pops up the message in full detail. So this all happens in a separate browser window. Again, it's not happening inside your regular email. So none of this information is visible to your email servers, which is useful. And it just shows you, the subject of the message, sending you some important information, who it was from, when it was sent, and then the private information that we're sending to you. So it's just a real somewhat convenient way for us to send you secure information outside of normal email channels. And again, we're using this quite a bit, and a lot of you folks are using it already, and we'll probably be seeing more of that in the future. If you want to reply to us securely, so at the bottom of this message, you'll see something that looks like this, where you can just enter a reply message. If you have files you want to send to us securely, you can attach them here. Just type in your reply message, click on the attached files if you want to do that, and then click send. And that sends us an encrypted message back. So again, it's kind of the same thing, that it doesn't go through your mail servers. So that's kind of our little introduction to Sharefile. Hope that was useful for you as well, in addition to the Investor 360 demo that we did as first part of the session. Just a real quick demo. There's obviously a lot more to it, and it'll make a lot more sense as you get in and experiment with it yourself. But you can always ask questions. You can reach out to me directly. You can reach out to your advisor. You can call the office, or just reach us at info@lifetimeasset.com. So I appreciate your time and everybody's attention for this. We do have some other upcoming Lifetime Learning Series webinars coming. The next one in 2 weeks on February the 18th is something that I think is going to be really useful for a lot of folks out there, and that's resources for helping aging relatives. So we have a special guest speaker, Micah West, who's going to share some information, and it's just going to be a really timely discussion to talk about resources to consider if you're out there and you have aging relatives that you're supporting. So be on the lookout for that. You can go to our website, lifetimeasset.com, and register to get an email reminder of when that's going to come. We encourage you to join those sessions, ask questions if you have any. But we also record all these sessions and make them available online. So hopefully within a couple of weeks, we'll get this particular session up online, and all of our previous sessions are there as well if you want to go and just enjoy some of the previous sessions. We've had some really good ones with some great guest speakers. So again, I want to thank you for your time and attention, and I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you all in the future. In the meantime, be safe and be well. Take care. Thanks.